Mm.
So what did I want to? I did want to add something about that as well. Oh yeah, actually, at least our next question. This one is interesting. Okay, how about the stereotypes of those working from home being lazy?
Where does that come from? And why would someone think that way?
See, that's what I don't like. People may consider someone working from home because they're at home and you don't see them. I think that's where it starts to stem from. But
Mm.
regardless of, it's almost as if someone is working, doing their task in their sweatpants versus someone having to force themselves to dress up and present themselves nicely to go to the office, it's almost as if it could almost stem from some resentment. It's almost as if, why did I have to do this effort? Wake up at like, I don't know, 5:45 a.m., get myself ready to go to the office, and you get to just roll out of bed, your
Mm.
hair's in a bun, and you get to do the same work. What do you
Yeah.
think about that?
I think the work is what you do, not where you travel to. And I really stand by the sentence. Like, you can be really, really good and productive in your sweatpants from work. Sometimes, like, my mental health, like, actually is kind of a bit shaky, and it helps me to take the laptop and actually snug under the blanket on my living room couch, and I actually manage to get more work done than I would be just sitting here by my desk, like, really nicely. Or maybe if I would be in the middle of the city and surrounded by people, actually, like, when you're in the office, like, you can get more chatty, and like, you can kind of shy away from your, but you get more conversations done, you hear things. So it really, again, like, it differs so much. There can be really productive times when you work from home, and there can be really unproductive times when you work from the office, and vice versa. It depends on what the purpose of being in one or the other place is. Like, depends on what the ask of your job is. And then those who think that people at home are lazy, are they projecting themselves on them? That would always be
Hear
my
that, folks?
question.
That's a good one.
Just gonna leave it
Because
out there.
yeah, I mean it's true because here's the thing. Like people will be burnt out and they won't know it because they have to wake up every day at a certain time. I'm not a morning person. All right, it hurts for me to wake up. Like if I could just wake up naturally and then go to work, which I have done sometimes, that has been my best days because I am most
Mm,
alert. I'm not cognitively impaired from being tired, right? So
mm.
if I had to, like, let's say I slept in and I tell my boss, okay, I'm gonna work this extra bit, and they let me. Those are my best days, hands down. Because, like you said, it's not a box for everybody. So the thing is, work people. It's almost starting to get to the point where people working from home might be a bit impacted, or there's these expectations of them. First off, they want to try to implement, like, cut salaries for those who work from home. Okay, why? Just because they don't want to get ready and buy new fancy clothes every single day. But living costs are starting to go up. And then the other one was also promotions. They may not be able to get promotions because they're not in office. And those who do
Mm.
show up in office are always going to be deemed as harder working. But then being at the office has its own issues. Absenteeism, presenteeism, those things come up as well. You may be, like you were saying, be in office, you're there, cool, but you're so tired and so burnt out, and you may not be doing the work as well as you would be if it was in circumstances you would prefer.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Again, like, some people will thrive in the office, some people will thrive at work, like, at home. And I think, like, technology is so brilliant these days, like, starting from Zooms and Teams and whatnot. Like, you can use all these things, and you can still communicate. Yes, getting a group of people in the room around the table, like in front of the whiteboard, it will always be more productive, like having a an online conversation. And of course, I would travel for these meetings as well. But if I'm sitting in leggings, or if I'm sitting in, like, I don't know, office trousers, like, is that gonna change the way how my brain works, really?
I love this. Yes, it's true, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, there is the other studies that show, like, if you dress better, you will feel better. But we're talking about work, and we're talking about, you're going to be at home getting these tasks done. So I don't know if the value of clothes being put on someone is what should be measured, their merit measured on that versus if the work is getting done. So,
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah.
Like, if
So,
you obviously, if you see someone who's always really dressed up, and they're suddenly starting to, like, show up in a dirty t-shirt or something like that, I would check in on their mental health more than I would say that they're lazy, because that might be a massive sign of like they're maybe struggling with something. But if it's someone who's usually more comfortable in casual wear, and that makes them comfortable and that makes them feel good about themselves, again, like, why are we so focused on the looks than we are on the actual work getting done? So I think no one's ever had that conversation with their employees then, if they're making these assumptions, putting one label on everyone. We're all so different. Why do we expect everyone to work exactly the same way and be productive in exactly the same way if everywhere
Yeah,
else we're so unique?
I agree. So that's what I'm saying. I really love this revolution that's happening. And I love that you mentioned about the resignation as well, because, a lot of people, I remember reading about this as well. Even if they're getting paid a high salary, if they were told they have to come to the office 5 days a week, they left. And that just shows that people are starting to finally see the value of themselves and what they want and what makes them comfortable to be the best that they can be. It's pretty interesting.
The
All
times
right,
are
so,
changing.
oh, yeah, they are
No,
changing. I'm
yeah.
excited for it. All right, so
If you want to hear more stories, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. To support more youth by youth led projects, visit us at youthspeak.ca, where you can donate and spread youth mental health awareness.
YouthSpeak Performance Charity. Speak, inspire, change.